What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Lonzo and me,
Yes,
Christian
sir.
Duckins, and you now chilling with us on the Smoking Joke podcast. First, we're going to talk about some current events, a little bit of news here and there, and then we're going to go into some deep dive questions to kind of get a feel about how you feel about life and how you really view things. And additionally, I'm also going to give my, point of view on all these topics. So it's going to be a little back and forth. If you feel the need to debate, let me know, and we can debate one of these topics and go a little bit longer on each one, depending on which one you feel more comfortable about. What do you think about these talks about going to Mars and colonizing and sending people up there, you know, just to like build a
Like
build a new
Elon Musk.
world? Yeah, Elon Musk was talking about it. He told I was listening to a video and he said that the Mars was too cold. It's like a freezing planet. And he like one of the ways to like balance out the temperature is just to drop nukes on it and blow it up, blow the whole planet up, and it'll heat up the planet to a livable temperature.
Crazy. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I'll have to share that video, and I might put a link in the description so you guys can see
I'm
it.
a big fan of Elon Musk, a big
Yeah,
supporter. I don't call myself a fan. I'm a supporter of Elon Musk, big time. My bad. So, what do you said? What do I think about them going to Mars? And
yeah, the whole thing, like basically moving our people to a different place that's not of this world,
honest,
literally not of this world.
honestly, that's why I've been reading a lot more. I have to read the scriptures and the Bibles and some ancient philosophers a little bit more to figure out if I've overread it. If it is in philosophy where God or Allah maybe said there's ways we can live up there. I don't want to say it's a lie, but I don't think it's possible. Even Elon said if we go out to the moon and put a base on the moon or Mars, I mean, or the moon, because he wants one on both. He was like, either or, it's only going to be a temporary thing. It's like, let's say Earth blows up, like how much resources is the moon going to have now? The moon doesn't naturally produce the resources that we're going to bring up there, or Mars doesn't. We're going to bring those resources, and we steady, I think, are trying to figure out a way to do that right now. And he's like, so if Earth is to vanish or whatever happens, we lose communication from them, whatever. How long will Mars last? How long will the moon last and the people up there last? What if they need something to refuel their oxygen every 30 years or every 100 years or, any type of thing, and they can't get it from the Earth? And so I think it's going to be stupid in that aspect. But from a spiritual, religious, you know where I'm at with that. I think if it's not in the Bible or the Quran, then it's of Satan. But that's really what I think on that. What about you?
I agree. Like, I didn't do too much digging into it, but like with work and different conversations I spark up with my colleagues, like this is one of the topics that comes up a lot because I work in a technical field, so going to Mars is kind of like a common thing that we talk about because it's kind of
Mhm.
cool in that aspect. I think it's crazy. I just bought a house, and I'm like the cool thing about buying a house in America in the world is the fact that there's no more land that's going to be produced unless we're talking about Dubai. These people making land in the ocean, but generally speaking, you can't really create no more land mass in the world, right? So that's why when you buy a house, you buy property. The property value is typically going to go up over time. But if we create a whole new world on a different planet, I just bought this house because they told me the key to financial freedom is property. You know what I'm saying? And now they buy they. So I think too much of us know about
Those
the
value
keys,
gonna go, "Whoop."
bro. I'm like, dude, I could
But
have
maybe
did
your
something else
mortgage
with this
will.
money, huh?
Maybe your mortgage, or they ain't gonna change that contract. They're
Oh,
gonna
they
be,
ain't
nope,
gonna
you still
change
got
that. I
so
signed a
you
dotted line. They was like, bro, we got you. Now we moving to Mars. You're gonna be stuck here with that mortgage payment.
okay,
So
then come repo it. By the time they come back, you got an army.
yeah, but yeah, I'm not really I'm not one of the person to like to say this a lot, but I'll see it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. Cause
Would you go? I would personally go if it was possible. And I read it like God was like, yeah, if I felt safe, I would go to Mars or the moon. Would you?
uh, like I guess I take it like this. Would I be the first person to get on one of them the plane with the Wright brothers? Nah, but after they do 70 years of testing, and if I'm still around, and it's like a normal thing, and it's like a one out of you get a better chance of getting eaten by a shark than you do falling out of the sky,
Okay,
I'll go. You know what I'm saying? But until that
the
day,
point.
I'm not gonna be, I'm not about to be a test subject because I
Now
know
you're
what they
gonna make
did to
me
the
wait.
monkeys. they did some crazy stuff to some animals, sending them in the rocket ships. Maybe it was just movies, but movies really
But
did.
that's probably true.
Yeah,
That's probably
you know what
true.
I'm saying. So that's my take on it. But I wanted to throw that out there because I think that's in the news a lot. People talking about going to Mars, and I've seen a lot of people get some job offers from NASA and stuff like that. So I'm like, dang, they taking this serious. But I'll move on to
Yeah,
the
but
next topic.
in real life, I don't think it's just possible.
I
I
don't. I don't
mean,
think it's impossible. I don't think we're there yet with technology though. We're
that's
gonna
what I'm
get there,
saying.
and we're gonna be like, oh shit, we forgot the water. How'd you forget the water? It's common
And
knowledge.
what you gonna do?
You know what I'm saying? But up there,
What
you
the
don't
heck
know.
you gonna do?
I'm pretty sure these guys are working on it super smart. But we all human. We gonna make mistakes, and that's a big thing to make a mistake on. You know what I'm saying? I think we should meet some aliens and figure out how they be doing some stuff, and then go up there or whatever.
Do you
Until then,
believe in aliens? Or we'll talk about that later. You don't want to mention aliens, or
oh, we can mention it. I think there's stuff out there, man. I think there
uh,
has to be, but and I like the Egyptians, bro. Like some of the hieroglyphics, it wouldn't make sense if you took aliens out of the picture. You know what I'm saying? And then like some of the structures that they built, some of the things like I was watching, I can't remember the name of it, but it was an underground monument that they built, and it was huge. They only discovered 5% of it, and it was built underground. It was hidden, but it was built before the pyramids, like 6,000 years ago, 6,000 before the
oh
pyramids.
wow, wow,
So I'll have to look it up. And but how? Like, bro, how? Maybe we went back on, like on our knowledge base, and we just rediscovering how
yeah,
much we know or something like
yeah.
that. But at the same time, I'm like, bro, there's got to be some type of in the galaxy, bro.
What
I
if
don't know.
what nobody want to admit? Like one of the like weirdest theories is like, what if we're the offspring, not offspring, but like genetically created of like that thing who really worship God. So that's why our Bibles and things be distorted. Cause like we don't see God, like God don't come to us no more like it used to in the Bible because it wasn't us, it was a whole different type of being. Adam and them probably were bigger, humans were probably much more larger. We're probably just like we're not even, you know what I mean? That's just a whole
Yeah,
nother weird theory. Like, and that'd be weird. That'd be like crazy. But I think it's hard to say something's out there. I think there's multiple theories. Like we could be the aliens. Like
yeah.
I don't know if I told you, CIA, FBI probably kidnapping people. They probing them. You know, they probably being weird, getting their rocks off, being for real though. But then you got like other like just military type of practice, maybe like a jet, a fire jet. You know, I was watching Joe Rogan show. If you can blank that out, if we can't use that. But I was watching this one show and it showed like these fire jets moving like this. And then over the NFL, that was the first game I watched of the NFL in the longest, the Super Bowl. And you seen the jet? It was like a triangle jet like this, and it was like, I mean, it was hovering,
Oh yeah,
and
they
it
do
was
that. It's called an aviator rotor. It's called
yeah.
VSTOL. They do the
You
VSTOL
see
to
what I'm
vertical
saying?
standoff lift. Yeah, but it's
You
crazy.
said
Yeah,
the best theory I've ever heard, and that was just now. I've never heard a theory that good about aliens. Uh, we lost technology.
yeah,
I'm like, that's what I'm saying. We lost our knowledge of self, not only the black people, but everybody.
yeah. They
That's
talked
crazy.
about
I never thought
the
about that.
when the Library of Alexandria got burnt down. I'm thinking that maybe that's when we lost our technology, because that's when the Romans and all them like started like colonizing and like going
And
out and
Hellenizing.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then pushing the Christianity. But I don't know. Like, I mean, obviously, I'm not no historian, so I probably got the dates wrong and the chronological order of it.
No, I
But
think you're on point.
yeah,
I
maybe
actually do. And I
you
read
know,
on this. But the people in the comments gonna let us know. They gonna
yeah, they
keep
gonna
us
let us.
honest. Y'all
We
motherfuckers
just talking. We just going down the
that
line. But you was
smoke
talking
this
about
dope.
conspiracies. You was talking about
Yeah.
conspiracies, and I like a little bit of conspiracy, especially about
Okay.
UFOs and stuff like that, and kind of like our presence on Earth. And I listened to these guys. They do like a video podcast or a vlog, I
Mhm.
guess you could say. And they was talking about what if we are being farmed, like how we farm animals, like we herd them together and we like make them reproduce and make them grow a
The
bunch of
movie
bunch
The
and then we eat
Harvest.
them, and then somebody's doing the same thing to us, because it was like there's things like about like a pig, he doesn't know what we know, what I'm saying. So there's knowledge that a pig doesn't know, so there's got to be things that if we're a species in like the that little pyramid, what they call it,
What pyramid?
the food chain, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, my
So if we're
bad.
supposed to be at the top of the pyramid of the food chain,
Hmm.
there's got to be something that we don't know, and that's why we believe in God, because we believe God's all knowing. So we already believe that there's something out there, when if people believe in God or believe
People
in,
just don't think like that. And
yeah,
thank
you
you
know what
for
I'm
saying
saying?
that. My bad to cut you off. Yep.
Yeah, so I think it's possible, you know what I'm saying? Because if you are religious in any, like, you don't have to believe in God. I don't know all the different religions out there, but if you believe in some type of religion, you believe in a higher being. What if that's the alien? You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's what I was about to say when you said the pictures on the hieroglyphs. I was
Hmm.
going to actually say the only way it makes sense of not being aliens is if you replace it with Allah or God and realize that those could be heavenly envoys, angels. Those could be so many different things. You know
Yeah,
what I
and that's what I think it is.
mean? You don't have to believe in aliens. You'll be like, well, exactly, angels and all types of things that these Egyptians and other people just worship. And in the Bible and the Quran, it says that. It says y'all worship some of the things I sent down there. And then there were other just powerful things that I don't know why or how, but God created. And they
Yeah,
just got worshiped, and then God had to come humble them. Like the Leviathan was a thing at one point. It was another one besides the Leviathan. It was a few of them. Man, I wish I had I can't
and we can
remember
go
them,
we
but
can
there's
go
so
over that
many
stuff
different feats.
in a
Yeah,
different,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
next video. We go a little bit more detail when we
And
have
I'm
all
gonna,
the
I'm gonna
facts.
get my research. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm gonna get some
But the
research in
Leviathan
too.
is one for sure. For people who don't know about the Leviathan, have you heard of the Leviathan?
Yeah, I heard
Show
about it
me.
in what's the show called, Supernatural. That's
Oh,
what
it's
that's fake.
Supernatural. Good, but that's
It's real. It's a
good.
good show. It's one of my
But
favorite
that's
shows.
they have Thor in there and shit like that, Loki in them. But they also have stuff from the Bible, like Lucifer and Satan and actual things from the Bible in there.
But by
It's
definition,
good.
right? Alien, any like God, they're all aliens because they're
It's
not of this world, right? So
Bro,
technically,
I tell people that all the time when I be like, if you believe in the Big Bang Theory, that was God who started it. Like two atoms or protons, whatever it was,
yeah,
hitting, that was God who made that happen. If you believe in aliens, you still believe in God. That's why, what's his name? Sam Smith, one of my favorite songs of his is Everyone Prays in the End. You can look at it like, okay, when people are about to die, everyone does really truly pray. But even if they don't know it while they're still living, subconsciously they still, in the Quran says this too. Everyone still worships God. Everyone's prostrate and everyone's still worshiping. They may be worshiping under a different name or in a different way, but they're still worshiping the same God, Allah.
yeah,
Unless they go out their way to worship the devil. But I'm talking about scientists and things who actually think I'm atheist, but there are aliens, this, that, and the other. Like, bro, you believe in God then, Like,
yeah. And people, it sounds like Christians, from my experience, they're scared to believe in aliens because it's like they feel like it contradicts, their faith in God. But I'm like, it's kind of the same thing. Maybe you think an alien flying around a UFO trying to gather intel on us, yeah, that might contradict. But just believing that something else is out there, where the hell you think heaven is? It ain't. You know what I'm saying? It's not. Or where do you think hell is? It's got to be something other than what we know. You know?
what people gotta understand is these creatures were created like we were. Some of them just don't know who God is. Even
Yeah.
in the Quran, it says that, and I believe the Bible says that. These things have to get taught and have to get what is it called? Humbled too. That's what they always say in the Quran. God, Allah has to humble plenty of mighty creatures, some that we've seen and some we know not of. People just don't read that. So I believe there, like you saying, there's tons of different creatures who maybe even trying to collect data about us, like intellectual beings that's trying to learn more about us, but they just don't know that there's a God out there. You know what I mean? So many different things that could be existing. We're so closed in here, like the Matrix theory. What you think about that one? I kind of hate thinking about that one because it fucks me up. Or
Yeah.
Westworld. Have you seen that movie?
Like we living in like a virtual reality or something like that.
Or like we're the clones, we're the like
Yeah.
everything we try to do. Have you seen Westworld, right? The
Nah.
Hollywood on HBO, I mean, Westworld, the TV show. And it was like she was a clone and nobody thought of this theory. This is something I swear I thought of on my own. I'm like, look how they saying everything she can do, because you can go to this world, it's a Western world, right? And you can have your fantasies with these robotic clones. I mean, you can fuck them, you can shoot them, they be doing anything on there, right? A lot of people who's watching this gonna know what Westworld is. You should Google it after this. And then eventually the clones thought they were rebelling, like we don't want to do this no more, because eventually they take the clone back there and wipe his memory, because it's not like real human. It's like robotic, but it got human skin. It's weird. But
Mm,
so they'll wipe his memory, put it back out there, and the people will come back year after year just torturing these things. Eventually, they took over. She made it. One of the main clones made it to the back area where everything was at, and everything she was doing, she seen it on the screen. It was predicting it. She's like, "No, I'm free. I'm my own person. I can do what I want." Everything she did, it showed it her options, and
yeah,
she did it. Like, so she wasn't really free. The creator of all of that still was controlling it. So that's just a deeper matrix theory where we ain't necessarily in a virtual reality, but we are still being controlled as if we're in a virtual reality by something, to where you thinking everything you're doing is your own free will, even if you're the most powerful man on earth. But no, God's doing that, or something is doing that, making you do that. Everything was written and planned. That's why Judas was meant to do that. Some people believe Judas may still go to heaven. That's a real theory, because he was created to betray Jesus in the
yeah. That's what
Christianity
destiny's at.
belief.
You can't
Yeah,
choose
you
your own
said, excuse me.
destiny. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
Yes,
you can't get mad when you do something with somebody that. I mean, obviously, to us, our
to a
values.
certain extent. Yeah, I know what you mean. To an
Yeah,
extent.
but not to go on a tangent, but like I had to bring this one up too because we talking about these theories and
Yeah.
conspiracies, which is, I mean, I love talking about this stuff. And
Man,
I seen the same podcast or vlog that I kind of watched. They was talking about like this episode of Rick and Morty, which I don't really watch Rick and Morty like that, but I seen like a lot of people around me they watch it, so I kind of picked up a little bit. But they were saying like the kid in Rick and Morty, he went and he got onto this screen where he hooked up, and then he went to like a virtual reality, and it felt like he was living a full life, but it was only like 5 minutes in like the simulation, and he got up to age 30 and he died or something like that. And then the old man, he went into the simulation and he got up to 65. It only took him like 10 minutes. And he got out and he was like, oh, dude, you didn't get up to 65 or whatever age it was. And then when you die in that simulation, it's like you seeing the white light and everything's like wiped. And then you go back to your old reality and then you hop back in to like try to play it out again and try to get a better score. It's kind of like a game. But
that's crazy. That's reincarnation theory.
yeah,
Another
yeah.
form
So
of reincarnation. You throw them back in there.
but it's crazy. It's just crazy to think the different things that people come up with, and I guess you'll never
Yeah,
really
some
know.
people live their whole life by these. Like, I'm glad me and you understand these are theories. You
Yeah.
can't, you got to prove them or not before you truly believe these people. Like,
Mhm.
I can't stand when people spend hours upon hours upon hours making YouTube videos or whatever about conspiracy theories or any theory that's not being widely accepted.
Yeah.
Like, you got like, and by widely, I'm even talking about the Nation of Islam and them. I believe they're okay doing what they're doing, but other people like conspiracies like super small, like about that type of stuff. Like, you can't prove
Yeah.
that. They spend so much hour influencing the children and the youth who watched it, and it's like you making them
Where's your
really
facts
believe
at?
that, but you don't believe it.
Yeah.
You said what?
I was like, where's your facts at before you put it out there?
Exactly. Like, them little theories by random people, for all we know.
Yeah. But I mean, it's always cool to. I
Yeah,
think
to
like
indulge in
listening to
it.
how people think is some of the stuff that they come up with is interesting. But like you said, I'm not gonna let it consume my thought process or my
Right.
belief system. But I get a kick out of it, and do find it a little bit interesting. As I think you do as well. But we ain't gonna lose our mind and go crazy about
Man,
yeah
go
thinking that
Chris
we in
Joyner
virtual
or some
reality.
shit. These people be crazy. You be like, hey, you gotta prove it or something first.
Exactly. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop kicking the dead horse and move on to the next topic.
Hmm.
So we talked about the stock market a little bit, especially with the minimum wage topic that we had. So stock market, cryptocurrency. What do you think about Bitcoin? And do you think it's going to replace the dollar? And if so, how soon? Because I think this stuff is crazy. What do you think?
That's a tough one, because either I can answer this one of two ways. I can go to the restroom and put on my clown face, You know, or I could just be honest. But either way to go, I'm a clown because I'm mad because I didn't buy it. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna say no. It's not gonna replace the dollar. It can't. I'm gonna be
because you could have
broke.
bought it so cheap. Your life
It
would
can't
have
replace
totally
the
different,
dollar.
man.
Yeah, but in reality, it's sounding more and more true.
Yeah,
Man, the people we grew up with back at Heights, you remember how many people was telling us? And I used to look at Dondre and they're like, "You crazy, bro!" But they were actually like, "Let's buy this," and it was like $5. I'm like, hell no, I'm not spending my money on that.
hey, where do I get out of it? Nothing. Just the
That's what I
idea.
said. When I was like, what? Then I seen one of the homies started having a Bitcoin card, and I'm like, hey, that's real? And he's like, yep, he up in Minnesota and shit. I'm like, he still got his. This nigga doing nice.
But
I'm
I was
like,
about to buy
man,
it at 6,000 last year, like in the middle of the year. My homie was telling me, he's like, man, I'm all on this crypto, man. I'm just buying. I'm like, bro, because I listen to Warren Buffett, man. I'm be like, man, don't invest in things you don't understand. You know, and Warren Buffett, all props to him because, you know, either Oracle of Nebraska or Omaha. But I should have never listened to that man on that one. And he probably
he's
wasn't talking about
no,
Bitcoin. But at the same time, it's like, I think it is going to take over the dollar, you know, objectively speaking, because like, and it's going to eliminate a lot of criminal activity, you know, that's not really structured or organized criminal activity. Because, you know, obviously, like some of the, you know, organized crime gangs or whatever you want to call them, they're going to figure a way out to make it work. But I was looking into some of the cybersecurity stuff with this Bitcoin, and one of the new stocks that, or if you can find a stock that deals with this thing called blockchain, like it's the actual security between the Bitcoin, and that's what
no,
makes
I
it
know.
it's so valuable that nobody can really, you know, steal it. It's your money, like, you know what I'm saying.
I
It's
used to have a
traced back to you.
Bitcoin. I sold it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So blockchain, I think the dollar doesn't got blockchain. You know what I'm saying. The dollar is an actual physical thing. And I think
Yep.
the digital age, it's going to take over. Unfortunately, you know, I didn't get in where I wanted to get in, but you know, I got a little bit, but it ain't
Not gonna be like if yeah, the first
it ain't
starters.
gonna be like it could have been. What
And
was
to
you
your
saying?
point, the digital age, you gotta understand with the digital age, like you were touching in on a little bit. I think that could be also a real reason, not being funny, of why the Bitcoin would never replace the dollar. It's like the situation with two things we were talking about earlier with Mars and you know, colonizing Mars or the moon. You might run out of equipment, or you know, like obviously in this aspect, the technology may stop working, right? Or like with the what was the other one we were talking about where we lost our knowledge. So if
Yeah,
that was to happen again, you know what I'm saying? Like that won't have no value type of thing. Or if like another big theory that is going around widely is, like I said, technology fades away where, you know, a
yeah.
blackout for whatever reason.
But even now, we don't got cash. You know what I'm saying? Most of our money is not even real. Like I got money in the bank, but if I go to the bank and try to pull it out, they're like, nah, we ain't got it. I'm gonna have to wait 2 to 3 business days. So even if that blackout happened on the same day that I own Bitcoin and cash, I ain't getting neither one of them. I'm gonna have to wait for the, you know, the digital system to come back up.